Hi, I'm Selena. Welcome to the CoreFit lifestyle. Come do Pilates with me. This is your lower belly bulge fix it workout. We begin with our hands on the foot bar, dragging the shoulders into the back, keeping the navel lifted and steady support in the lower back. No dropping in the ribs. Hold your back as if you're trying to balance a tray. The movement of the knees creates an instability that you need to brace in your lower abdominal isometrically to be able to maintain the position in your back. The lighter the spring on this one, the more challenging. And just be mindful not to be loading the shoulders or the wrists. All of the work is concentrated in your center, major core. And just to turn things up a little bit, pull up the knees. When the knees are lifted, there's even less stability available. So you really have to be using your abdominal muscles to support your lower back and keep the ribs in place. Exhale as the knees come in. Now we're going to add spring. We added a blue. And we're pulsing. Exhale on the pull. Connecting. We're back on the yellow and the blue spring, holding the arms in place. We're trying to keep the shoulders anchored, and only the legs alone are moving. Shoulders are stable, legs are long. We're going to go from vertical and move the feet over the face, peeling the spine up, peeling the pelvis up, dragging the toes up. Nice and long. The lower abdominals lifting against the resistance of the straight legs, which forms a lever. The slower you move, the better the effect. Strength building in the lower abdominal. Connecting the feet at 45 degrees, coming back to 90. So now we work on the lower half. The angle from 90, drop the legs to 45 degrees. Try not to lift in the lower back. And we're using the abdominal wall, the transverse abdominal, and every muscle that wraps around the 360 degrees of your torso. Major control as you move slowly through that straight line from 45 degrees all the way back up over the face. Down, vertical, and slowly over the face, all the while keeping the shoulders down, plugged and anchored. Longer the legs, better it works. Slower the movement, better it works. And peel with control as you come down. Now to put everything together, we're going to access our arm muscles, dragging the armpits into the ribs, connecting the chest to the pubic bone. So the action of combining the arm movement with the lifting of the pelvis and the legs as the lever creates added compression that your abdominal muscles have to work against. Pulling, connecting the pubic bone to the chest. And this is intra-abdominal compression. Inter-abdominal pressure, strengthening the muscles in every line of movement, every orientation. Now we're going to add both hands in the one loop. We move through the center. It is the abdominals that moves the carriage. So keep pulling your shoulders over your ribs. And we isolate the lower abdominal by lifting the pelvis only. Roll it up, roll it down. Now we're going to focus on one side. So we're using the opposite strap to push across to the outside of the knees, and of course the pelvis is lifting to create the work in the lower abdominal. This is inter-abdominal pressure. Moving to the other side, make sure that you are accessing your upper abdominal to hold in the isometric, shoulders off of the carriage, and just the pelvis alone lifts and lower. Moving slow, moving controlled with the roll, slow it down. Keep the isometric, pull the chin and chest over the ribs. Moving to the other side, opposite knee, intra-abdominal pressure. This time we add the shoulders. Lift the pelvis together. And of course, you're exhaling on the contraction. Again, an isometric for the upper abdominal, but the lower abdominal has to control the movement of the legs. Steady and slow. Maintaining the angle behind the knee, so the thigh bone is being carried forward and back. Light taps. Keep the shoulders anchored. Try not to tense in your face or your neck. Moving through the teaser. Lower abdominal blast. Holding that isometric, just the legs alone. Drag them across the room. 45 degrees. Up. Inhale to come down. Exhale to connect. Inhale to come down. Exhale to connect. Ribs to thighs. Ribs to thighs. And moving slow with control. Constant intra-abdominal pressure equals big time results. Don't forget to breathe. Now we add the resistance around the tops of the thighs. So when your pelvis lifts, you're lifting against resistance. You're on one blue spring, lifting the pelvis against the resistance. The shoulders are hiked up and held in place. There is no pressure on the neck. All the weight of your head should be resting in your arms. Think of the chest connecting to the thighs. Hinge and connect. Hinging at the waist. Pull the heels up and across the ceiling, longest legs you can find, and exhale. Deepening that isometric curl in the upper abdominal. Continue to move with the pelvic lift. Heels to the roof. Tucking into a ball, moving slow, connecting the chest to the thighs. Now we're adding resistance with the opposite leg crossed over. So you have a heaviness in the legs as you try and lift your pelvis together with your upper abdominal shoulders, leaving the weight of the head in your hands, connecting the chest to the thighs, and pulling everything together. So here the resistance is actually in peeling the spine down. So we get an opportunity to work the abdominals in the eccentric direction. That orientation pulls the abdominals from the front of your body into the back. It is the back wall that supports your spine. So the slow release to peel down. And it is the free leg that really works against the resistance. Using more abdominal with the free leg to control the straight lever as it lowers and lifts. And breathe and keeping the shoulders anchored and relaxed. Remember to keep the weight of your head in your hands. So we're not using the neck, we are using the front body to pull the shoulders into the thighs. Pull the shoulders off the carriage, connecting the chest to the pubic bone. The slow peel down is the point of the exercise. Press down and peel the spine onto the carriage. So for this segment, the longer the leg, the harder the abdominals have to work to hold the control and the suspension. Inhale as the free leg moves in, exhale as the free leg moves out. And as usual, slower the movements, better the effect. Now we're moving into the short spine exercise, which is another eccentric movement involving the abdominal wall. The peel up is assisted by the springs, but the peel down is where you have to work, pulling the abdominals in the opposite direction. So from the front into your back, press down one vertebrae at a time, activating the transverse abdominal in the eccentric motion. Pull down through the navel, connect. Smooth, concentrated, and slow. Your core is always holding you, and you have more control than you think. These exercises are great to tone and improve the strength in all of your abdominals, all the muscles. Great work.